about the fashion show. I never felt like she did something malicious, like she did something on purpose. I just felt a certain way. And I just wanted to talk to her about it. I felt like I was singled out. I felt like I was the girl that couldn't fit into the pants that everybody else had on. Like, it really killed me. Heather had been telling me, I'm doing this fashion show. And I was like so excited because I'd lost 40 pounds. And I'm going into it thinking, I'm going to feel like everybody else. I'm going to wear the same things as everyone else. It's not like I'm the big girl. I get to just be like everyone else. And I was really excited about that. And then I feel like when I got there and I looked around and like Gina has the designer's leather pants on, but like I had to bring my own pants to wear. I just like, I felt devastated. How big do I look in this dress?
It fits you really well.
She told me to bring jeans, but then everybody else has black pants on. I feel like I had to bring my own jeans because I don't have pants big enough to fit me.
They made them to size though. Some of these protocols are hardly too, you know?
Feel and felt very bad for Emily that she had that feeling that Heather was doing that intentionally, or that she was singled out to be the only one in denim.
Like I felt like that feeling you get in your throat where you just feel defeated and you get that lump and you start to cry. And I had to go into the bathroom and have like a moment to collect myself. It was like almost questioning my own sanity. Like, did I lose weight? Do I look different?
It's oversized.
Yeah,
no, I know. Yeah. It's so cool. Is that okay?
Yeah.
If you don't,
no, I love it. It's
okay.
fine.
Okay, great.
And I don't think anybody maybe understands it unless they've been in that situation, but I just felt defeated. When I hear oversized, it just immediately triggers like a sensitive subject for me of like, oh, because your arms can't fit into like a normal size. I do want to make it clear that I was never mad at her. And I never felt like she did anything wrong.
I know you, Heather. You had 3 changes.
I know that, and I know that you wouldn't do anything
things.
malicious, and I never think that about you.
Ever.
She kept saying I did right by you.
I wanted to make sure that you felt like a f***ing star.
I didn't even feel good in the dress because Alexis was in the same dress.
On top of a size 12 dress.
Yes.
And she said Alexis's was a size 2.
That's not my fault. That's
You know, I get shut down. At least that's the way I felt at the time.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sherry. I guess now you realize today is Bravo Monday. So here we are to talk all things Real Housewives of Orange County. So I wanted to share that clip with everybody because that is just going to be our segue to get right on into it right after this quick intro. Okay, guys, welcome back. Again, this is Sherry with Alleged Actually. Welcome back. We are talking about Real Housewives of Orange County today because Monday is our Bravo Monday. Y'all, the episode was good. I want to get into it, but real quick, if you're new over here, I want to say welcome. Over here, we do reality TV recaps. We have pop culture segments, and we also do special interest interviews. We have a couple that are coming up, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you would, please go ahead and give us the thumbs up. Go ahead and like this video, comment. I love to read the comments. I love to interact with you guys. So go ahead and pop off in the comments and share with the masses. And if you haven't yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and subscribe. So y'all, we're going to get right into that episode. It opens up with Gina coming to visit Shannon. Y'all, I know a lot of you guys, I was in some of the chat groups talking about the episode, and a few of you that are blessed to have the growing hands were pretty miffed at Miss Gina for picking off those lemons off of her neighbor's tree. Hey, listen, I'm not with theft. You know, that's just one more reason to have Gina on my bad list. She has not had her best season to me this season. I have not really enjoyed watching Gina kind of slither around with pissing people off and just kind of being inauthentic. I mean, I love that she's becoming more into herself, finding her way, being a real estate agent and all. But, you know, I feel like she kind of threw Travis away. Definitely feel like she threw Katie under the bus. And even Emily with talking behind her back with, even though I can say this is the one time I truly agree with Gina, her picking up some of Tamara's mean girl ways. Nonetheless, like I said, we open up with Gina going over to visit Shannon. She brings her the stolen lemons. And then she goes in and asks Shannon how it's going with Tres Amigas. And they had a show, if you remember, on last episode. Shannon had to leave a little early from Sonoma to fly out and meet Vicki in Texas for them to do their show, which now I guess it's the Dos Amigas. Tamara has dropped out. Initially, it was to be the three ladies, Shannon, Tamara, and Vicki. Tamara dropped out as a result of Shannon's DUI because she felt just wasn't a good look to be doing a show that's widely about drinking, considering the circumstances. Not a fan of Tamara at all, but slightly can understand that. Anyway, so Gina asked her about how it's going with the show, and she says that she's getting good feedback. They love it. And that she goes on to talk about the fact that Tres Amigas is a legit business. I mean, it's an LLC. They had merchandise, the whole nine. They had spent a coin, honey, on promotion videos and things to promote the show. And then Tamara drops out, which kind of left them starting from scratch, if you will. They pan to their manager that's basically letting her and Vicki know that they're going to have to start over with that. Vicki asked, could they not put a big clown face on Tamara? I wish we could throughout each episode. That'd be great. One for her and one for Alexis. Nice big old clown faces. Yes. But nonetheless, he says no, they need to, go ahead and revamp a little bit and, kind of make it their own. And so basically at this point, she, does let Gina in on the fact of, how it's going. And then she takes her on a tour of the remainder of the house. She takes her upstairs and Gina just goes full all real estate agent mode, pointing out the built-ins with the acrylic finishes in the home, the whole nine, which Shannon was impressed with her real estate talk. And then she basically asked Gina, how did it go after she left Sonoma? Because like I said, she left early to go join Vicki to do the show. And Gina lets her in on the bike ride that they had and the lunch that they all had at, where once again, we had the showdown between Gina, Katie, Heather, regarding the whole tiring paparazzi spill. She basically says that Katie had let it be known that Gina keeps Heather close because of her real estate connections. Y'all, that was the worst game of telephone ever. I mean, it went from saying that Gina kept Heather close for her real estate connections to down to, that Heather has helped her with her real estate, like any good friend would. I don't know. It was ridiculous. Tamara tried to hype that up. It didn't go over like she wanted. She was so hoping that if she hyped Heather up enough that Heather would turn against Gina. Though I do feel there's an element of Gina certainly hyping up Katie and leaving Katie out to dry. I am not a Gina fan. I did not like how Tamara asserted herself last week in trying to hype up the situation and make it something where that Heather would turn against Gina, because that's Tamara's way. Because Tamara has bonded with Katie when they were on their trip at Big Bear, and now she's Katie's advocate, and so she tried to, get Heather to get in good graces with, or for Katie to be in good graces with Heather by throwing Gina under the bus. Typical Tamrat fashion. Yes, I said Tamrat. I'm in all the group chats. You may not know, but I'm in there. At any rate, guys, Shannon was basically saying, well, maybe same thing. Maybe that kind of got lost in translation, that's not what it meant. Maybe she didn't mean that you were truly trying to keep Heather close for real estate connections, because, they all know that Gina works with the team and Heather has not been instrumental in her real estate career at all. So that debunked that. At any rate, Gina does say that they kind of squashed it and she's looking at rebuilding with Katie, but she's going to do so with caution. And I would advise you, Katie, to also proceed with caution, which I don't know, the vibes I'm getting from Katie is she's kind of over Gina. Rightfully so. So at this rate, we're now over at the coffee shop. Those ladies love a good coffee shop, right? And Katie, Emily, and Jen meet up to catch up since they're all back from Sonoma. And they're all doing their order. And Jen decides to pick up the ticket, which is a nice gesture, right? Emily just never misses an opportunity to slam Jen. Y'all, it's becoming a little much now. Listen, on this episode, we feel for Emily, and I'm going to get into that because we saw that in the previews. We're going to talk about that. But I still hate how she keeps coming from Jen. For Jen, I mean, one thing I can say, and I will give Jen, she is a refreshing addition to the cast because I don't like the whole deer in headlight, damsel in distress thing. But what I do love about Jen is she brings the calm, the kindness, the evenness to the group. She's not boring because she definitely has her storyline going. She's got Ryan and whatever Ryan's got going on. The fact that she's going through this financial hardship and, you know, having to relocate her children into the home with him and seeing how that all works. So she definitely has a storyline without all the nastiness, y'all. So it can actually be done. And so I'm a fan of Jen. I like her for the show. So yes, Emily takes her shot yet again that though she can't pay for the rent, at least she can pay for the coffee, baby steps. Come on, Emily, sis, let it go. We get it. We've already seen that. You've made those jokes enough. Punchline taken. Leave Jen alone. At any rate, they sit around and they're talking, and they talk about Emily and her daughter, Annabelle. I guess Emily and Annabelle have a cute presence on social media. And they said, or Katie says, you know, she thinks their exchange is hilarious. Annabelle is a cutie. She is. She's got a lot of personality. And, you know, Emily says that's her child. That's her most challenging child. I mean, listen, as a mom, and to the moms and dads out there, but to the moms, we kind of all have one. The one that, you know, challenges a little bit more. You know, Jen chimes into with her son, Dawson. And I want to say when we get to that point, man, I really felt Jen. I felt Jen in that conversation with her son, Dawson, on a whole nother level, and we'll get there. But Emily admits, though, with Annabelle, she was saying that Shane called her Emily 2.0, that she, you know, admits that she overcompensates because yet again, you know, she talks about how she struggled as a child, how she, you know, didn't have a lot. And as a result, she overcompensates with her children. She kind of gives Annabelle whatever she wants, does what Annabelle wants her to do. And thus, there we go. We've all been guilty, or a lot of us have been guilty of that, right? So I felt that too. And that's when Jen chimes in and says it was similar with her and her son, Dawson. So Dawson is her 17-year-old son. And she says that he's the one that she says that extra prayer over, the one that, you know, really rebels and, you know, she struggles with. Y'all, that hit me in the feels. I have 3 children. Going through those teenage years were tough, particularly for a couple of my kids, one in particular. So when, really not just one, 2 of them in particular, but teenage years are tough, period. So to hear her say that, yeah, it really touched me. She was just saying that, you know, he was struggling with the fact, they pan to it, the scene where he's talking about, you know, since they've moved in Ryan's house, you know, now he's got a curfew and these rules. And see, that's the other thing about Jen, you know, I feel that she probably didn't have maybe a lot of other choices. Maybe she did, but, you know, taking your children, particularly your teenage children, and moving them into another man's home that is not their father, that you're not married to, it's a big adjustment. It's a big adjustment and it's risky. And she's feeling those growing pains. Dawson is not liking, you know, this is Ryan's house, and he is going to assert himself in the fact of what goes in his house, rightfully so. But I think it's challenging for Jen. And she does let them know, though, that she's asked Dawson to have a chat and he's agreed. And so they're going to have a sit down talk, and she's going to let the ladies know how that goes. So Then Emily asked Katie what's been going on with her and Gina since they left Sonoma. And she says, you know what? I haven't heard from her. I haven't heard text nor phone call, nothing. And then Emily chimes in and says, you know what? The last day in Sonoma was so nice. And that was the day, of course, Shannon was not there. And she said simply because, they didn't have to be separated. Now, look, probably I am certainly not a fan of Alexis. I am Team Shannon on this season. I cannot stand the way Alexis has come through on a mission to take Shannon down, all as, the mouthpiece for John Jansen. However, we've all been in those situations where when you're in a girl group and two really don't get along and it causes all this tension, and I could see how it made things easier or more enjoyable for the ladies on the trip when Shannon left, because they weren't in that feeling of having to pick sides and worrying about what they say. And so I get it. I totally get it. And so then Katie asked Jen if Shannon had texted her back about her party, because as we get to it, Jen is throwing a pool party at the home that she now lives in with Ryan. And she says no. And so she talks about wanting to have the pool party because, she's now in Ryan's house. And this is a scene they flip to with her and Katie, which they've become really good friends, y'all. And it's cute to watch. But she does talk about how being in his house, she wants to feel like it's her space too. And Katie says, well, now that you're living there, it is in fact your space too. And in order to drive that home, she's going to host a pool party, and she's inviting all the ladies to include Alexis. Hence why they're kind of wondering whether Shannon has responded or not, though they do realize that Shannon has a show, which is what she had told Emily in the earlier scene, in St. Louis, and so she's not going to be there anyway. And then Katie says, well, you know what? It's probably for the best. So yet again, the ladies is really getting tired of the whole Shannon versus Alexis thing. And as a viewer, I think we all are a bit. We just want Alexis to go bye-bye. And Tamara, please go with her. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go over to the scene where Shannon tells Gina that she has checked in with her attorney. So we're still back over at Shannon's house. Gina's still there, and she has her phone in her hand, Shannon, and she's talking about how she checked in to find out had her attorney heard back from John's attorney. And she said, because at this point, it's looking like they're pretty much blackmailing her. And so with the whole video thing, so if you haven't been up to speed, which I'm sure you have if you watched the recaps, because, obviously we're here to discuss the show, but John has video footage of Shannon on the night of her DUI, where, of course, she was heavily intoxicated, and he has on video from his Ring video where she allegedly almost hit his adult daughter. So there's that. They have those videos. It's been communicated that they have them. They have not shown them, but it is alluded to that they will if they have to. And so at this point, the attorney says that when he spoke with the attorney was pretty much standing on the fact that they did have those videos for blackmail purposes. And she said that the exact words were, John needs some sort of insurance policy in case Shannon goes off the rails. And so Shannon says her attorney says that they are fully going into the lawsuit against her. And back over with the other ladies, Emily's talking about the lawsuit as well. And she just says, look, I think John thinks that this lawsuit's going to do something for him, but it's actually not. It's a bad look for him. He's so worried about his reputation. But quite frankly, y'all, the whole talk of this lawsuit, the nastiness of it, makes him look vile. So if he was worried about his reputation, it is not Shannon that he needs to worry about. It is himself, him and Alexis, in the filthy way that they're going about this. If you moved on and you're happy, and it's been said in the show by the ladies, and I'm going to say it, and many of the fans say it, going off into the sunset. I mean, we all know now that they're engaged. That came out. Listen, when you're happy, you're not motivated to take someone down or hurt someone. You just want to go be happy. So, y'all, it's just gross. And every episode that they further discuss it and it continues to go, I feel worse and worse for Shannon. I genuinely do. So Emily says she goes into her confessional and she's reading the statute on extortion in California. She states the penal code, and it is illegal, of course, to extort someone. And she reads the definition, which is pretty much spot on with what he's doing with these videos. And she says it is sounding very extortion-like, what he's doing. And I agree. Now, let's put a pause here and let me have a little sip of tea here. So we are all sitting here and in shock that Bravo is allowing this to go on, that they're airing it. I mean, listen, the lawsuit would have happened, whatever, I get it. And Shannon's on the show, get that too. Also get the fact that, you know, hey, Shannon knew what she was signing up for. She could have gone away quietly, dealt with the aftermath of the DUI and took a year off, whatever. She didn't. Got it. Get it. Got all of it. But, you know, watching this unfold, I don't understand how it's continuing. I mean, is it not illegal to say, you know, if you don't pay me, I'm going to do something that's damaging to you? Yeah. And so I don't understand how not only is it not frowned upon, it's highlighted and spotlighted on the show. I don't know. At any rate, y'all, Emily, while she has the ladies enthralled, you know, and paying attention, she wants to slide in the fashion show. And she asked Jen and Katie, you know, she talks about it and says, she brings up the dress, the one that she wore, that Alexis also wore, that her dress was a size 12. Jen laughs in disbelief. And she says, and y'all, by no way am I a size 12. First of all, let's get that clear. And I'm thinking, yes, ma'am, you are. And there's nothing wrong with it. I wear a size 12 dress. I don't consider myself a big, humongous woman. I mean, I'm curvy. The problem I think that Emily's having, y'all, is the other ladies are so small. I mean, you're talking, you watch them on TV, yes, and you can see they're petite and small ladies. But if you see them in real life, and I know I've said this over and over, but y'all, I went to BravoCon last year and I met a lot of them. And thin is an understatement. What you see on TV is one thing. What you see in person, these women are extremely tiny. So I can certainly understand where Emily is struggling here. I can. But sis, a 12 is not huge. It's not big. And you wore that dress and wore it well. They flashed to Emily, and let's be clear, and Heather says it later on, y'all, and I couldn't help but giggle a little bit because Heather wasn't wrong. She got the measurement. She sent them. The dress fit her like a glove, and it looked good. Emily, I get it, sis. I really get it. And I think that there's so many of us that totally get it, but it was what it was. Now, as you saw in the clip, Emily doesn't have any, you know, anger towards Heather, even though it didn't necessarily come out that way at the pool party. However, because she doesn't think that Heather did it maliciously. And I don't either. And I want you guys to let me know what you think. So pop off in the comments and let me know. Did you think Heather purposely put Emily in to make her feel ostracized or singled out? But she goes on to say, you know, Alexis looked really cute in the dress, yet she felt like she was going to court. And they were all like, well, yeah, you look professional. Y'all, again, nothing wrong. You see, it comes on screen where you see Alexis in the dress with the jacket on. It looks nice on her. And then you see Emily come out without the jacket with the dress on. It looks great on Emily. You know, women come in different sizes. But to be fair, Emily felt some type of way and her feelings are valid. So She goes on and brings up the white shirt scene where she was the only one that didn't have black pants. She had to bring her own jeans. Then, of course, we also know about the whole jacket and them saying oversized. I sincerely understand where Emily was coming from. So I'm certainly, I can't minimize it because I felt that way. And I struggle with my weight to this day. Not in the sense where I think that I'm large or heavy by any means, but if my peers were all zeros and twos, I'm sure I would feel insecure as well. You know, I will never be that. I'm not cut that way. I'm not even made to be a skinny girl. I am a curvy girl, and that's how I look healthy, and that's how I look better. But at any rate, so she lets the ladies know that she's going to bring it up at the party. She's going to talk to Heather because, you know, it just made her feel upset. She lets them know that she had a moment in the bathroom where she cried, where she even like kind of questioned her sanity. And you saw that in the clip as well, where she felt like, you know, did I lose weight? You know, have I come a long way? Am I still a big girl? I mean, you know, so I get it. She was really emotional. So then, y'all, we go over to the scene where Heather is going to be a presenter at the GLAAD Awards, and which is a big honor. And she lets everybody know it's a star-studded event. She is there. Terry is there to support her. That is her partner. I love her and Terry together, by the way. And she actually presents the award for outstanding reality programming. Her and Meredith Marks from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which premiered last week. And y'all, it's shaping up to be a good one too. Not going to get off script, not going to get off the subject because we're going to talk about Salt Lake. We will start adding that to our lineup soon. But yes, so she did the presentation with her and Meredith Marks, and it was an honor. Heather is the mother of 3 children that she discussed that are a part of the LGBTQIA community. So she was asked to participate for that reason. We all know Meredith has a son that is openly gay, her son that designs. And Alexis has been there in support. What she doesn't really talk about on the show, and I'm not sure why, and I won't say I'm not sure why. I did read that Jim Bellino has put a clause or has made sure that she is not to speak of their children on the show. So I would assume that's why. But there is a connection between Alexis and Heather, a friendship, and their closeness. I have read Alexis has a child that has come out as trans. I think that Heather has been supportive with her through that, and hence why she made sure she was at the GLAAD Awards to support Heather. And she's really, and she was really supportive of family equality, which is why she brought, if you guys remember in the episode before, that she brought Alexis along with her as she was preparing for the fashion show and the event for Family Equality, which also is an organization to bring awareness and support to the LGBTQIA community. So there's that. Then we go over to the scene with Tamra and Katie. They get together with their daughters, Kylie and Sophia. A lot of folks kind of chimed in and said that was a cringe moment. So look, I got what it was trying to give. Both of their daughters are the products of broken homes, children of divorce. The girls have bonded as a result. They have some similar interests. They're gamers. Sophia just seems like, number one, she's not comfortable on camera. I think that's clear. No matter how much Tamra tries to push her in front. I don't know if you guys caught the episode and Watch What Happens Live that Sophia was there. She brought something out. I can't remember if it was the shot ski or she was on there and participated. She was awkward then. I just don't think she wants to be on TV, or even if she does, she's clearly not comfortable. That definitely comes across. But the scene was basically for them to get together, the girls to talk about their feelings about, Kylie talks about how a young man that she's talking to, that she kind of puts the walls up because he was moving too fast, and when she didn't reciprocate with the I love yous, he was mean or snappy with her. She won't tolerate any kind of red flags or aggression from men. And Katie says that that's widely because of what she witnessed between her and her father. So we got that. Katie's been forthright, and that's what I said again. Katie's also a great addition to the cast. Yes, she came in aggressive, guys. Yes, she came for Heather with Gina's backing. It didn't land like she thought it was going to land. I'm not sure how she thought it wasn't going to go that way, because coming for Heather Dubrow was probably very risky. But Katie's holding her own. She does have a storyline. She fits in well. She brings diversity to the cast. I sincerely can almost tell you, you heard it here, that she will be back for another season. Basically, then Tamara's daughter, Sophia, says that it's widely because of watching Tamara and her father, which was Simon, why she doesn't want to get married and doesn't want to have kids. And then you hear Sophia talk about, you should not bring children in this world if you're not going to commit to, raising them and being together. And, it's a big commitment. And I agree. Divorce happens. I actually, had a divorce. My children were teens when my first husband and I separated, but it's hard for them nonetheless. And so again, watching this, I can relate. It's not easy on the children. It's not easy on anybody. Divorce is hard. And so that was that scene. And then, y'all, we go over the scene where Jen gets to sit down and talk with her son, Dawson. Y'all, this one, it really touched me. So Dawson is her 17-year-old son. And when she sits down with him and kind of is trying to get a gauge on where he is, what's going on with him, and he just lets her know, look, I'm not really happy here. You're always in my face. You're always, Dawson, do this, get up, do that. And Jen is just kind of like, look, yes, I'm your mother. I'm going to do those things. I'm going to push you. I wish someone had done more of that with me. And she says, I wouldn't be sitting here in this situation at my big age of 46. Maybe if I had more of that. She wants better for her son. And who can't relate to that? God knows I've been there. That, if anything, that certainly gave me a bonding moment with Jen. And, Dawson basically is like, I really don't feel like I have my own space here. I don't feel like since we moved in with Ryan, I've had my own space. And he lets her know that he feels more comfortable staying with his dad. I guess his dad has less space, and he sleeps on the couch, but him and his dad have an understanding. You know what, ladies? Sometimes it gets to a point, particularly with our boys, when they get a certain age, they want to be with their dad. Go let them. Let them. You could see the hurt on Jen's face. Oh, like I said, all the way in the fields, y'all. But reality is, sometimes you just gotta let them go. Let dad be the one. Let dad play bad cop. And, pray for the best. That's all you can do. And you don't give up on your children. And she certainly is not. But she lets herself be known. She lets him know that she loves him and she's never going to stop, pushing him and wanting the best for him. I thought that was a very touching scene. And then it goes to Vicki and Shannon. They are getting ready for their show in St. Louis. Y'all, I'm going to say this too. Listen, when they're getting ready for the show, I know you guys have noticed every time the lady comes in, they're getting themselves together, Shannon and Vicki, and she's like, can I get you guys anything to drink? Vicki orders her drink, and you see Shannon kind of awkwardly say, okay, if you have Cheetos, Grey Goose, whatever you got, and soda. Shannon, ma'am. At this point, we get it. You haven't stopped drinking. Lots of people that get DUIs do continue to drink. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, it is what it is. If that's your stance and you don't think you have a problem, stand on business. Own it. Order your drink with your chest. I will have a Tito's, Grey Goose, Belvedere, whatever you got, and soda. It's weird. It's cringy. The camera pans to it. The producers are making a big deal out of it. You're feeding into what Tamra says. I know she said last time, oh, I get it. She orders drinks because she doesn't want to admit that she has a problem. If she didn't, that would be admitting it. So instead she does, and she says she'll have one or two. Whatever that is. But here's the thing. That's a personal choice. And certainly by the ladies that you're surrounded with that on every occasion have a drink in hand, that includes them all, honey. Look, if that's what you choose to do, then do it. You know, it's cringy the way they make her feel like a leper every time she orders a drink. Y'all, it's old. Let it alone. Anyway, they go on, they do the show, they prep and they do their little zaniness, trying to throw the shirts with the little slingshot type thing that doesn't work out so well. Their shtick is, you know, Shannon moves awkwardly, the whole dance thing, you know, wouldn't be my type of hype. I don't know that I think it was funny, but, you know, they certainly have their following. Good on them. It gets Shannon out there and gets some things off her mind. It's good for her. You know, kudos to her and Vicki for taking the Dos Amigas on the road. So, okay. So then, y'all, we get over to the infamous pool party. Jenna's put together a nice party, and Ryan has a kick butt house. Yes, ma'am. That house is nice, honey. Very nice. So, Miss Gina has her comment about how, you know, when she coexisted with Travis, you know, they were all sardined in. You know, she had all those kids in one room with the massive bunk beds where they wrote all over the walls. But we talked about that on a former clip. Lord have mercy. One of my former recaps, child. At any rate, she's like, you know, looking around like, you know, looks like, you know, everybody has their own space there. Oh, well, it's not Jen's fault that she picked the baller. Okay. No disrespect to Travis, but you pick who you pick. You with who you want to be with. I mean, listen, you can't get mad at Jen. Anyway, I just want to know if y'all caught that little comment from Gina, that shade and that jealousy, that green-eyed monster showing its face. At any rate, y'all, they have the pool party. You know, Jen puts everything together really nicely. Alexis comes in, child. She comes in all off. They're all, what's wrong? Why is your energy not on? And she just lets them know it's hard, you know, and all of the stuff with the lawsuit. And she admits and says, you know, I tell Johnny we shouldn't have met now. We should have met 6 months later. It would have been easier. Child, whatever. Listen. If maybe you stop inserting yourself in it or wearing it as if it's a badge of honor to be his mouthpiece, his spokeswoman, whatever you want to call it, while he tries to bring Shannon down and you go around proclaiming he's right and that, you know, he has every right to sue Shannon and Shannon has ruined his reputation and she's ruining your life, but she's not even thinking about you. The whole thing is ridiculous. In scene with Alexis, we're not going to talk more about her until she inserts herself in the issue with Emily and Heather. So Emily lets Heather know how she felt about the fashion show. And Heather, you can tell, is taken off guard. She's just like, look, no, I didn't think about the fact that, you know, you would feel any kind of way because I asked you to bring the jeans. And she's like, you know, plus you put me in the same dress as Alexis and, you know, you put me in a 12 and all the things that she said in the clip that I shared with you guys about how she felt like the big girl. And initially I felt like Heather took it well. She was trying to say, no, I really didn't. I didn't mean that. You know, that's not where I was going. But then when you had other ladies chiming in, no, it wasn't like that. Tamra chiming in and, it got out of hand, you know, and what I think we were witnessing was Emily was feeling emotional because she just kind of reverts back to old, back in the day, Emily, where she felt less than, where she felt not good enough, you know, and it came off as very aggressive. And Heather is the kind where when she feels like you're coming for her, she's not here for it, you know, because she made it known that she did not intentionally. I mean, she was trying to put on a fashion show for charity. And she was saying, no, I wanted you to feel great. I wanted you to feel like you saw it, an effing rock star. I gave you 3 looks. Some women only had 2, you know. I was trying to do you a solid mainly. And, you know, Emily just didn't receive that. And it just, to me, and you guys weigh in and let me know what you thought in the comments, just 2 people missing each other. I mean, how could Heather understand? Heather's like really thin. She's not going to understand those body image struggles that Emily would have as a curvier woman who potentially, you know, would think this season would be feeling really good. But even with her 40-pound loss, her 40-pound weight loss, she's still significantly bigger than the rest of the women. She just is, because she's a curvier woman. No shade, because so am I. And I think Emily's absolutely beautiful. The fight, you guys let me know what you thought in the comments. I felt like I certainly understood where Emily was coming from. I felt like Heather could be a little bit more compassionate. She was very dismissive when Emily tried to come back and talk to her, because, you know, as we said, we were going to do it, but Alexis chimes in, because when she was trying to say that here you had Alexis in a size 2 in the same dress and Alexis looked beautiful, Alexis is like, oh, you're bringing me in it, and just white noise, y'all. Just a bunch of just yeah. And it set Emily off. And she kept telling her to shut up, to shut up, to shut up. And the more she told her to shut up, the more she just wouldn't go away. It was cringed moment times a million. Alexis, please be gone. Please get off of our screen. Please. At any rate, the show ends with Emily being upset, Heather being upset because, you know, she basically was like, I'm not going to talk to you one-on-one because you should have approached me in the beginning one-on-one. You did it in front of all the ladies. And so at this point, she was done with the conversation. My assessment, again, I understand where Emily's coming from. I think that as cooler heads prevail, they'll have another conversation. And I know, I truly don't believe Heather did it on purpose. You know, I did like the little comment. It maybe was shady when she said, honey, all I did was ask for y'all's measurements. I sent it to Susan Bender, and what you got's what you got. She's like, you know, the dress fit. It wasn't too big on you. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, and she's not wrong. Again, though, I thought Emily looked great in the dress. There's nothing wrong with rocking a size 12 dress. Your girl does, and I think I do it well. So y'all let me know what you thought of the episode. Pop off in the comments and let me know what you thought about the whole Heather and Emily situation. Did you understand where Emily was coming from? Do you think that Heather could have been a little bit more compassionate and understanding? Or do you think that Heather was right? She came at her crazy. She shut down and was like, nope, I'm not here for it. Lord, what did y'all think about Alexis asserting herself in yet another something that really, you know, if you want your moment, you've got it. Just go away. Y'all just let me know what you thought about the episode. Put it in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to ask that you come on back. We may have a video Wednesday on 90 Day Fiance the other way. I'm going to try to drop one. I do have a little procedure going on this week. You know, it's preventative though. So once you get a certain age, ladies and guys, go get your colonoscopy done. I do have to have one done. So I'm not sure whether me and Big Nigel will be on, but we're going to try to get it done early so we can drop that. If not, just be on the lookout for when I drop it. Make sure you tune in on Saturday for our pop culture Saturday segment with me and Bria, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about what's going on with Sean Diddy Combs, so you won't want to miss that. So guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Join us back over here at Alleged Actually for more reality TV, pop culture, and those upcoming interviews. Have a blessed one, guys. Bye.